Bitcoin correction is not over yet. So a lot of people probably think that Bitcoin is done pulling back, but that is not the case. This is going to be a lot different than what everyone is used to. So this cycle is very, very different. You're going to see a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and it's going to be constant. You're going to see one day 7% up, one day 7% down. It's going to be like this constantly this whole cycle. Anyways, we're going to hop straight into this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's talk about this. So like I said, right now we're up 7.8%, but tomorrow we could literally be down the same amount, and then we can be up the same amount again. And that is because we have institutional investors in this time around for this bull cycle. So we have a lot more people and a lot more people with a lot more money inside of crypto now, more than ever. So now you're just going to end up seeing these crazy ups and downs. We have all these institutional investors. We have ETFs with Bitcoin in them, Ethereum in them. We have all of these different avenues for people to now get in on crypto, and we have way more people in it. So we're going to see these huge fluctuations. Just look at that. One moment, 85,000 Bitcoin. Next moment, $94,000 Bitcoin. Next moment, literally same day or next day, really, it went down to like 83K. And then the next day, it goes up to 91K. And then the next day, it's back down again to 85K. And then the next day, then the next day, then the next day, then 76K. And now we see what we're at now, which is back to 82K, up 7.8% in the last 24 hours. So it's going to be like this, and it's going to be a constant thing for this cycle. So right now it's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting time because we're actually only up 15% in the last year. So some would say that this is a good price. Now, granted, if it goes back up to 100K, obviously you got in at a good price. But personally, I believe we are not done yet. So I've mentioned this time and time again. If we hit this 74K area and we break it, we are going down even lower. I know for a fact that we have to go down to 74K eventually. That is our support. That is our strongest support right now for this cycle. That is our strongest support. So we are definitely going to continue to make our way down there. Now, look, we did just now have a reversal, right? And with this reversal, you kind of see that it happened right at this area where we had this, I want to say like an inflection point where we just decided, all right, now we're going to have this massive run up after we broke our resistance right here at 74K. We just had this massive run up, which then brought it way higher. And some would say 74K, some say 73K. It's like really right at like 73.5, 73.7K. So I just rounded up to 74K, but technically it's 73K. But still, we are going to end up seeing it eventually. So, like I was saying before, look, we stopped right here at this point, right when we hit that area where it was just the point of no return pretty much. We broke past our resistance, and then that was the point of no return. Notice how we dropped back down to that same level right there, right? The fact that we hit that point is the point of no return. We are going to go down because we already hit this point of no return, which was right here at about 76K, right? We hit it back here, and this was on the upside, and that pretty much made the decision for us that we were going to just have a huge breakout. And that's exactly what happened. We had a huge breakout, went all the way up to 108K Bitcoin, right? Well, now that it's the other way around, when we hit the point of no return, now we're about to end up pulling back first to this 73K support, right? And then if we break that, then it's really the point of no return where we go down to that 58K support. So 58K is actually going to be where we more than likely end up stopping at if we are to break this support. So it's about the same amount of gains or losses in this case than it is from going from 73K all the way up here to 108K, because now you're seeing it going down here from 74K, well 73K, all the way down to 58K. So it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of the same concepts there. So anyways, we're definitely going to have to end up seeing this. And like I said, if we hit 58K, that's going to be good because that just gives you a really good opportunity to get in at a lower price. But yeah, the Bitcoin correction is not over yet. So if you thought it was over, think again, because we got a lot more room to go down. Now, hopefully it stops at 73K, right? Hopefully when it hits 73K, it's done. It's over and it just goes back up, hopefully. But we can't go off hope inside of the market. If you actually look right here at the Stoch RSI, you can see how it's about to cross up here at the top. Usually when it crosses down at the top, it ends up going right back down, and then it lands here somewhere around the bottom, and then, right back up. So what you can actually see here with this, let's go ahead and take off all these other drawings just so we can kind of clearly see what we're looking at here. Now, if you look at what we have going on here with RSI, notice how right here at the bottom, so you can see right here at the bottom of the RSI, that's about this point right here. So that brings you somewhere around this area. And then notice how it goes up. And now we're kind of stopping right here, and it looks like it's about to go right back down. So we're probably going to end up having that pullback just like it's showing here on the RSI. So the RSI is kind of telling us what we're about to do in advance. It did the same thing down here. We crossed here at the bottom like it was ready to go back up. And then it did. We had that recovery. That recovery brought us all the way up here to about 92K, right? But then when it crossed at the top, that just indicates that we're about to go right back down. And it did. It went right back down here to 85K. And then that sideways movement here was just the nail in the coffin. So that sideways movement indicates all of this right here. And then it goes back up, indicated by this, and boom. So it happens time and time again here with the RSI. The RSI, the Stoch RSI in particular, is actually pretty accurate. Okay. You can see here how it crosses at the bottom like it's ready to continue to go on an upward trajectory. You can see here 93K upwards to the 99K resistance, and then it got rejected. All right. And then you can also see it here, right here at the bottom. It kind of tried to go up here and it couldn't. It got rejected, went down a little bit. You can see it tried to go up and got rejected. And then you can see it tries to go up again, which is indicated by this. Gets rejected, goes right back down, which is indicated by this. And then you can see it goes right back up here on the RSI. This area goes up, as you can see here. And then it kind of goes sideways here, but it's still on that upward area. It's still on the 100-point area for the Stoch RSI, which is why you continue to see it rise, because it was still at that 100-point area, even though it's going sideways. And then we hit a top here, and then the RSI just curves downwards. Boom. And it goes all the way down to the bottom, all the way down to the bottom here, and then it crosses again and goes up. So it's pretty accurate, right? So what you want to know about the RSI here, the Stoch RSI in particular, is that if we start to see that sideways movement, right? If we start to see the RSI doing something like this, kind of like how it did here, and also how it did here, that could indicate that we have a little bit more room to go up. So you could see Bitcoin going to 86K, possibly even 90K, right? Because the RSI is going sideways. And then let's say the RSI goes down halfway, right? Then you're going to see a small drop from 90K down to 86K. And then you could probably see it going up again. And then you can see us going right back to 90K, right? And then if it's going sideways still, then you could possibly see it going up to like 98, 99K. But then it eventually has to come down. The RSI is just not going to stay up the whole time. It has to come back down. So it could come down immediately over here, which would look something like this, going straight back down to 76K. Or it could wait, like I was showing here, it could go up, but then it would eventually have to come down. And then you would see it trying to recover again, which would be indicated by something like this. And then it can't recover and it gets rejected again. And it goes back down, which is indicated by this. And it tries again, just a little bit, but then it can't. And then that's when the final nail in a coffin is made, going back down. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works with RSI, the Stoch RSI. So that's why it's good to pay attention to that. And like I said, it looks like it's about to have a nice little pullback. So get prepared. The Bitcoin correction is not over yet. You just got to accept it for what it is. So there are a few things that could happen inside of the market, which could change the path of things. The inflation rate is going to be given yet tomorrow, which is what, the 12th. So we could be seeing something, maybe by the time you see this video, it might even be the 12th already. So we're going to see something that comes out and it's going to pretty much define what happens next. All right. This is the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart is showing something a little bit different. Let's say it just curves down and just keeps going sideways like that. That's just going to cause an instant pullback. Or if the RSI goes all the way up here, that could be, like I said, us going up to 86K. So there's that possibility that we do go up to 86K. We're at 82K right now, but I do believe we're going to end up getting rejected before that or at the 86K level. So we're going to get rejected, in my personal opinion. And I do believe we're going to continue to go down a little bit more. So 74K is on the way. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let me know what you guys think about this. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.